Welcome everyone to Coin New Yen Review channel. Before we dive into today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so more people can discover us. Enjoy the show. After eating mushrooms, I head to the company to work overtime. I mistook the boss for a dog. When he spoke to me, I was slow to catch on. Shocked, how could a dog talk? Then I hugged a person I potted plant and shouted frantically, "Bye zoo!" The neighbor's dog turned into a spirited can talk, it can talk. In the middle of the night, I stumbled upon a marketing post. It raved about how delicious mushrooms are. So tasty they'd send you to heaven with one bite. I couldn't resist and placed an order with a light tap. By Saturday, it finally arrived. The seller even threw in some ham. I heard Jian Shoujing mushrooms are poisonous. When cutting them, I deliberately put disposable gloves on my hands. After chopping, I poured twice the usual amount of oil into the pan, tossed the mushrooms in and stir-fried. Just a few stirs in, my phone started ringing. The ringtone told me it was the boss calling. I hurriedly turned off the heat and rushed to answer. "The data you submitted on Friday is wrong. The company needs to recheck everything." Bai Zong's voice was cold and heavy. It seemed like he was suppressing anger. A light bulb went off in my head. I immediately said, "Sorry, Bai Zong. It was my mistake. I'll head over after I eat. Hurry up, we need it for a business trip this afternoon." After hanging up, I rushed back to the kitchen and cranked up the heat. Before the mushrooms softened, I threw in garlic, chili, and ham. As the seasonings went in one by one, the aroma instantly filled my nose. The crackling sound of oil reached my ears. I muttered to myself, with this much heat and oil temperature, it should be cooked right. Turned off the stove and served it up. Disappointingly, after a few bites, it wasn't as delicious as the internet claimed. Plus, with Bai Zong rushing me, I packed up and headed out. At my desk, I cross-checked the error screenshots Bai Zong sent me, started rechecking the data. Soon I didn't even need the screenshots. The reports automatically showed red text, marking where the errors were, just as I found it strange. A voice beside me asked Assistant Lin, "The boss is working inside. What are you doing here? Sitting around collecting overtime pay for free?" My first thought was, is he crazy? I'm clearly working hard, okay? Not slacking off or fudging data. I glanced at him briefly, then pointed at the screen. It was completely black. The computer's not even on. "What data are you checking?" I froze, but not because of what he said. What the hell did I just see? It looked like a pure white poodle. I widened my eyes in disbelief and turned to look. The dog was getting closer and closer. "Do you have a problem with me calling you to work on the weekend?" Its dog mouth opened and closed. Human words actually came out of its mouth. My face turned operatic with shock. My voice trembled. How can a dog talk? The dog seemed a bit defiant. "Just because I made you work overtime, you're calling me a dog? Fine, Assistant Lin, you're really something. Double overtime pay, how's that? Huh?" When that dog paw helped turn on my computer, my whole body bristled and I finally jumped up. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Bai Zong, standing by the wall with his arms crossed, silent, quietly watching us. Without thinking twice, I grabbed him in a hug. His body was so cold. Maybe it was the buttons, but it scratched my face a bit. I yelled at the dog, "Bai Zhu, your dog's turned into a spirit. It can talk. It can talk. It's even mimicking your behavior. It told me if I don't work overtime, it'll fire me." The dog stepped closer, its dog face scrunching unhappily. Its voice was exactly like Bai Ningbing's when he's angry. It spat out each word. "Oh really? It even knew my name." I hid behind Bai Zong, trembling. My heart was pounding like it would explode. I only knew people eat dogs. But what if a dog eats a person? This was too terrifying. Thankfully, the dog stopped approaching. It pulled out a phone and made a call. Its dog ears flopped over the phone, like a dogskin phone case. Soon a group of monkeys arrived. The dog actually called monkeys to grab me. I struggled like mad, rolling and thrashing on the floor. But they still lifted me into a car and took me to the hospital. The monkeys told me I'd been poisoned by mushrooms. That's when I realized the dog was Bai Zhu. He was leaning against the doorframe, seemingly spooked by me and not daring to come closer. I looked at him, trying hard to imagine him as Bai Zong. Cautiously, I asked Bai Zong, "What time is it?" 3:30, I said, worried. "Then you might miss your flight. It's rescheduled for tomorrow." He paused for a few seconds. "Is your stomach okay? Anywhere else uncomfortable?" I shook my head. A bit deflated, I asked, "Are you going to fire me?" Thought about punishment, but not firing. "Are you going to dock my pay?" "Dock your pay? You've been grumpy all month. Am I looking for trouble?" I finally relaxed and smiled. "Having a boss like you is my honor. Stop flattering me. No idea how you badmouth me behind my back." He knew he called him Master Exterminator. That night my condition hadn't improved. I wanted to get up to use the bathroom, but I was afraid of stepping into a battery because of my condition. So I leaned against the door waiting eagerly for Bai Zong to return with food. Not long after, a dog carrying bags of food walked down the hallway toward me. I anxiously pulled him inside. "Bai Zong, do me a solid. Can you check where the battery is?" "Forget it, just go in." For the first time I saw such a complicated expression on a dog's face. He set the food on the table, opened the bathroom door, pointed and turned to me. "Where do you see it?" I was utterly shocked. "Aren't those 3 toads with open mouths? You mind if it's in a toad's mouth?" "I mind." I looked bitterly at his curly chin fur, repeating pitifully, "I mind, can you take me somewhere else?" This embarrassing situation, I didn't want my boss to know, but in this city I had no family, and none of my friends were reachable. Otherwise Bai Zong wouldn't have offered to stay. If he refused me, I'd have to manage alone. "I'll support you," he said, his tone still calm, but warmth surged in my heart. Having a boss like this is every worker's dream. At the bathroom door, he asked a male staff member to help me. I blinked back, tears moved, not letting them fall. In my heart, a little figure knelt sobbing. "Boss, I'd be your ox or horse." When I came out, he held my hand under the faucet, placing it under the water. Honestly, this seemed normal to me, but I inexplicably wanted to sneak a touch of his hand. I sighed. "Bai Zhu, whoever becomes your future boyfriend is lucky." His voice softened. And you. I mulled over those 3 words in my head. Was he asking me to flatter him? If it were me, I'd be thrilled. But Bai Zhu, with your talent and looks, your match must be a refined, high-born gentleman. He didn't respond. Back in the room, he placed me on the bed. I glanced down, letting out an earth-shattering scream, grabbing Bai Zong's clothes in fear and pulling back. Just then he turned around, stumbling forward from my tug. His lips nearly brushed mine. "What's wrong?" His breathing quickened slightly, facing his magnified, stunning face. I was so nervous I could faint. What a moment! To perfect right. I had to pretend he was still a dog. The toad's on the bed. I accidentally sat on it. "Where's the newspaper?" He chuckled softly, his lash lowering, his gaze falling on my chattering mouth. The next second he leaned down, his cool lips brushing the corner of my mouth. A warm hand rested on the back of my head, his pinewood scent lingering at my nose. He closed his eyes, his lash trembling lightly. While I was still in shock, he pulled back and stood up, standing by the bed. His cheeks flushed slightly, a bit flustered. He raised a hand to scratch his brow. "Sorry," he said, his expression and movements dazed. "It wasn't intentional." After a long pause, seeing I didn't respond, he asked with some frustration, "Got anything you want to yell at me about?" I shook my head blankly. He pursed his lips, clenching his fist. "All right, I'll stand guard outside. Call me if you need anything." As he turned to leave, he suddenly stopped, turning back to ask, "Want me to take the toad out?" I shifted my body, then pointed to an imaginary spot on the bed. I watched him grab at the air and take it out. After he left, at first I was caught in shy panic, wondering what to do, but soon I fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, the room was empty. I suddenly thought of him, threw off the blanket and rushed outside, looking around. No sign of him. I let out a long sigh. He probably went to rest, otherwise making the boss stay out all night. I'd be the workplace's biggest oddball, but the boss kissing an employee? What's that about? Thinking hospital bills are pricey, even if reimbursable. Not staying means spending nothing. So I asked the doctor, who said my symptoms weren't severe, and let me go home. At home I lounged on the sofa, my stomach growling. Just then, I came across another Jian Shouqing promo video. Help who hasn't tried Jian Shouqing fried rice. It's an explosion in your mouth, immersing you in a world of fiber. Jian Shouqing fried rice. The best fried rice I've ever had. Like eating a mouthful of nature. I licked my lips, glancing at the fridge. Could it be I didn't cook it properly? So it wasn't delicious and poisoned me. If I cooked it longer, really went for it, maybe I'd be fine. Just do it. Bai Zong always praises my work execution, but he doesn't know I'm like that in life too. I dug out yesterday's leftover rice, picked out some Jian Shouqing from the plate, carefully poured it into the pan first, estimating it was enough before adding the rice. Jian Shouqing fried rice. The sizzling sound was like a beautiful symphony, tempting the greedy bug in my stomach to growl again. This time, I followed the seller's instructions to the letter, even frying an extra minute and a half. If I got poisoned again, Jian Shouqing served it up. This time I was extra cautious, deciding to take one bite, play on my phone for 10 minutes, and if nothing happened, keep eating. I have to say, Jian Shouqing fried rice was indeed fragrant. I took one bite and couldn't resist another. Afraid I'd lose control, I covered the bowl with my tablet, keeping the aroma from escaping. 10 minutes later, I felt fine. Excited, I went to the dining room, only to see a toad standing on the table. It looked at me pleadingly, croaking, "Can I have some?" Goo, just lift the cover a bit. It'll stick my tongue in for one lick, just one. I silently picked up my phone to book a ride. Suddenly, a call came in. Caller by Zhu. Where are you? I asked Ziwu to bring the computer over. I went out this morning for some business. Came back and you were gone. I brought breakfast. I felt a bit heavy. He really stayed outside all night. I thought you left. The doctor said I was fine, so I went home. I explained, my voice small. He was quiet for a moment. Then rest well, I'll check on you later. But I'll head back in a bit. There was a pause for a few seconds. Is your salary so low you can't afford breakfast? Forget running back and forth for food. Order some takeout. Get something fancy, company will cover it. I glanced at the dining table and said to my boss. What? Bai Zong asked, confused. The toad asked who I was talking to. Didn't I take the toad out yesterday? As soon as he said it, he caught himself. He repeated loudly, toad. I replied awkwardly, I thought the mushrooms were pricey, and if I cooked them properly, I wouldn't get poisoned. So you ate them again. So embarrassing. To avoid troubling him and wasting medical resources, I added, Bai Zong, you should go rest. I've got experience now. I can get to the hospital myself. Also, how much did the ambulance and treatment cost? Once I'm better, I'll transfer it to you. Oh, really? His voice squeezed through gritted teeth. He must be so done with me. Not just him, I'm done with myself. Who could have predicted this? This stuff cooked one way, poisoned, cooked another, still poisoned. I'm starting to suspect the seller sent me toxic mushrooms or wrong instructions. Stay home and wait for me, he said coldly, adding, don't talk to the toad. Then he hung up. I helplessly glanced at the toad. It started begging again, just one bite, please. Why are you ignoring me? I pursed my lips, silently turning away. Bai Ningbing arrived at my place quickly. He stormed in, demanding, where is it? I pointed at the toad. He dumped it into the trash can. Then he tossed my fried rice in too. Anything else? I pouted, pointing to the fridge. He repeated the process, dumping the Jian Shouqing from the fridge into the trash. Then he tied up the bag, one hand holding the bag, the other holding my hand. At the hospital, it was the same familiar doctor. This time I ate less, so he didn't turn into a monkey. Just like Bai Zong didn't turn into a dog. As soon as he saw me, he asked back again. I gave him an embarrassed smile. His expression at 8 again was spectacular. If there was a hole in the ground, I'd have burrowed in without hesitation. Bai Ningbing saw my flushed face, explaining for me it was an accident, doctor. He didn't dwell on how I messed up again. He said earnestly, we don't have experience with this. You can't keep doing this over and over. I promised firmly there wouldn't be a third time. After handling all the paperwork, Bai Ningbing helped me back to the hospital bed. He glanced at his watch, then pointed a finger at me in warning. I'm heading to Jushi for a business trip. If it's quick, I'll be back by evening. You stay put. Don't go anywhere. My mom will come by to keep you company. Hearing his mom was coming, I shot up from the bed. Oh, I think I'm better already. The next second he pushed me back down. I'll tell her not to say anything that'll embarrass you. She'll just take care of you. But how can I let your mom look after me? Besides, I've only met her a few times. Though she seems to like me, it's not appropriate. Really, it's not. Behave, he said, his brows furrowing, his commanding presence kicking in all right. By Zhu, I answered reflexively, good son-in-law. Are you feeling better? Auntie Zhu floated into the room like a character from a Keong Yao drama. Momonti infine. Thank you for coming. She sat by the bed touching my face with concern. Oh, your little face is so pale. If your parents saw this, they'd be heartbroken. I replied sensibly, yeah. I didn't tell them because I didn't want them to worry. Auntie, could you not call me son-in-law? Bai Zong might not like it. He's not happy. His mouth's grinning ear to ear. He only acts like a normal person when he's with you. Otherwise, he's like his dad, some kind of robot. But if you don't like it, I won't call you that. It's just my wishful thinking. Don't feel awkward. Her face reddened slightly. I wasn't sure if her description of Bai Zong was true or not. Auntie also brought food the chef made. Eat it while it's hot. She took the food out of the container, placing it on the table in the toad's body. The toad burst open, seeping into the food. She warmly urged, come eat. I pursed my lips, struggling to respond with a single word. I couldn't let Annie's efforts go to waste. It's all fake, I told myself, swallowing the meat stained with toad juice. A few hours later, Bai Ningbing called. His voice was sultry, laced with exhaustion. You okay? Auntie Sue's eyes curved into crescent moons, beaming at me with a knowing smile. My face flushed red. Pretty good, I mumbled. Good, I'm flying back soon. I hurriedly said, rest first. You must be tired from all this. No worries, I'm not tired. That night, Annie left before Bai Ningbing returned, saying she wanted to give us couple space. She really seemed to like me. Maybe because I helped her when she fell on the roadside. Blood everywhere and no one dared to assist. Only I stepped in. By chance, one became Bai Zong's assistant after an interview and saw her again at a banquet. She was all smiles, calling me son-in-law ever since. But that's a flimsy reason. If Bai Ningbing were an ordinary guy, I'd definitely make a move. After all, I graduated from a top university, saved enough to buy a house outright. I've got some confidence. But his status, we're worlds apart and I chickened out. I really don't have the guts for it. I hope Andy stops saying it, or it'll be awkward for both me and Bai Ningbing. If the company heard, they'd get the wrong idea. If Bai Ningbing didn't want rumors spreading, he might fire me and that'd be it. My mom says not to overthink things you can't figure out. Time will clear the fog. So I stopped stressing myself out, opened my phone and posted a plea for help. Family, who gets this? I cooked it so long, how am I still poisoned? Someone tell me why. Almost instantly, netizens sprouted like mushrooms after rain. With your cutting method, not meeting your ancestors is pure luck. Jian Shouqing needs to be sliced thin. Thick slices won't cook through. Ancestors are banging their heads in the grave. The more they said, the more scared I got. Good thing I thought it tasted average before. And Bai Zong rushed me to the office, or I'd have eaten the whole plate. Then I'd really be meeting my ancestors. I should eat out next time. Too bad work keeps me so busy. Always on call. No time for anything. When Bai Ningbing returned, his face was full of undisguised exhaustion. I went to the sofa, offering him the bed. Bai Zong, take the bed. I'll take the sofa. I'm fine now. Just here for observation. But he sat right next to me, turning to look at me, his eyes bloodshot. Outside work hours were friends. You're sick now. It's normal for me to take care of you. Scoot over, let me lie down and rest. But if I lie down, it'll be on your lap. I didn't think his personality would allow this. But the next second, I was dumbfounded. Without a word, he lay down, his head resting on my lap. I stared at the scene stunned, too nervous to speak. The air froze for a long time. I felt like I'd entered a soundless vacuum. He suddenly opened his eyes, his gaze heavy, locking onto me. Oh, Che-yi! I thought about our relationship all night. I can't hide my feelings anymore. These 3 years we've grown together, in perfect sync. I don't just need you at work. I'm starting to depend on you emotionally. That dependence isn't just habit. It's because I like you more than once I've imagined. How complete my empty home would feel with you in it. I don't know how you feel, and I know saying this might trouble you. If you don't like me, just forget today happened. We'll still be great work partners. Rejecting me won't affect your career, nor how we get along. If by some chance you like me a little, but hesitate because of reality, I'm telling you don't. First, my mom came from an ordinary family too, marrying into ours. My grandfather was a soldier, started a business after retiring, so we don't care about family status. My grandma's always traveling, rarely home. My dad's buried in research. No time to care about this stuff. And my mom really likes you, so you can confidently consider if I fit your idea of a partner. Imli Gong Yu, never been in love, not great at romance, but I can promise you a worry-free life with me, and no cheating ever. Because of my family's values, I'd never stoop to dirty tricks, like snatching your share of assets. If things fell apart, one more thing you know, I'm busy. I might not have much time for dating. Looking ahead, if we marry and you want to be a stay-at-home dad, I'd have no objections. But I don't mind, because 1, I'd get to spend more time with you at work, and 2, your parents raised you so well. I don't want you to become a caged bird. Sorry if said a lot. What I really want to say is just one thing. Everything else was leading up to it. Do you like me? Looking into his eyes stormy as crashing waves, hearing his down-to-earth confession, my heart thundered, like something exploded in my brain. More disorienting than eating those mushrooms. My whole body heated up, hot enough to set the hospital on fire. I couldn't stop myself from reaching out, covering his eyes with my hand. His lashes brushed my palm, making my heart itch. I need time to think. Baizu, can you not look at me? I'm a bit shy. He replied simply, no rush. Take your time. No need to feel awkward. I'll stay outside tonight. With that, he stood up abruptly, not glancing at me, and walked out quickly. I clutched my phone, dazed for a while, then sent him a message after some thought. I might need a long time to think. I'm actually pretty cowardly, not trusting a woman's promises lightly, not ready to accept everything that's happened. Bai Zong, who never uses emojis, sent a cute one back. How'd he steal my emoji? I turned off the light. Come back into rest. Your words sound ambiguous. I turned off the light. Come rest on the sofa. That way we won't see each other, and it won't be awkward. Alright. In the deep night, the quiet room was filled only with our soft breathing. Even without words, the air felt impossibly intimate. The next day I went home. Bai Zong gave me a week off. Finally, I could take time to do my own things. I'd been thinking about buying a house, but always hesitate save the money, or by now, I'm living in company-provided housing. 2 bedrooms, 1 living room, 1 kitchen, 1 bath. Pretty nice all around. But now it's different. If I really date the boss, having my own place would give me a lot more security. Just do it. After checking out houses, I brought back a bag of groceries. The dishes I threw out were still piled in the sink. Feeling hungry, I washed them quickly and cooked something simple. I ate while watching a show. I ate quickly. In no time the plate was empty. My stomach suddenly started to ache. Food turned inside, rising to my throat. I rushed to the bathroom, vomiting into the toilet. No way poisoned without eating mushrooms. Are these mushrooms toxins that potent? Can they spread through the air? After throwing up, my head spun. I forced myself to call a car. In the car, I told the driver to take me to a different hospital. I was too embarrassed to face that doctor again. Who knew the 3rd time would come so soon? This time the symptoms were worse than before. Vomiting and diarrhea. Dizzy head. The doctor guessed. I didn't clean the plate that held the mushrooms properly. There was no other explanation. Hooked to an IV, I lay on the bed lifeless. I swore to myself, I'd try mushrooms at a restaurant next time. No way I'd get poisoned then. By night, I felt a bit better. Zong sent a message, "How are you? No discomfort anywhere." Nope, I'm completely fine. Really, if you're fine, come to work. Well, not completely fine. My head's still a bit dizzy every day. Stay in the hospital, the company will cover it. I don't like hospitals. The disinfectant smell is too strong. Thanks for your concern, Zong. I wanted to end the conversation quickly. I'm at your door with some supplements. Too much trouble. I'm a bit tired. Don't want to get up, please don't be mad. I'll leave them at your door. If you feel unwell, tell me. I'll take you to the hospital. Thanks, MM. Tossing my phone, I clutched my chest so close. In the company break room, to people huddled whispering secretly, I saw Lingju at the hospital yesterday. Mushroom poisoning, vomiting and diarrhea, face pale as paper. When he saw me, he specifically asked me not to spread it at work. I'm only telling you, no one else. Outside the break room, Ningbing's cold face grew darker. Without hesitation, he strode in. His voice froze the room like ice. Which hospital? I didn't want to bother friends during work hours, so I was alone in the ward. After the 4, my stomach still felt off. Maybe hunger, but I didn't want to eat. Drained, I closed my eyes and napped. I don't know how long I slept, but I gradually opened my eyes. In a daze, I saw Zong by my bed. His face so grim it was like someone owed him 8 million and didn't pay. A light bulb went off in my head, and I shut my eyes again. His voice carried a hint of resentment. Cheyi, I saw you wake up. Stop pretending you bought mushrooms again. Or were there leftovers at home? Do you care so little about your body? Why didn't you tell me? Or do you only see me as your boss? Thinking all my talk about being friends outside work was just politeness. He, usually so quiet, was now like Monk Tang, lecturing nonstop. Every word an accusation. I stammered, no, I didn't eat any. It's because the plate wasn't cleaned properly. I didn't tell you because I didn't want to trouble you. You have no friends in this city. If you don't trouble me, who else? Have you eaten? His tone was still sharp. I shook my head timidly. I'll get you something. I muttered, do you have to buy it so fiercely? It's like you're going to hit me. He raised his voice. What did you say? Nothing, boss is generous. Boss is beautiful. He froze, his lips twitching up before he forced them down. His ears turned red, his whole body subtly swaying, looking almost shy. I suddenly thought his nickname shouldn't be Exterminator, but King of Face Changes. What do you want to eat? No greasy or spicy stuff, or raw or cold millet porridge is fine. Thanks, boss. You're so kind. As expected, his ears reddened more. Got it. A few days later, I was finally better. I went home from the hospital. From then on, I despised mushrooms. Zong carried my clothes and other things, big and small bags, handling everything meticulously, like he was my assistant. Don't touch anything. Just sit there. I sat obediently on the sofa, terrified of accidentally poisoning myself again and troubling others. He threw all my kitchenware, bowls, chopsticks into a big trash bag. It pained me to watch. Actually, just tossing things that touched Jian Shouching would have been enough. Then he set out new ones, identical to the ones in his house. I immediately snapped a photo and checked the price online. Seeing the price, I gasped, instantly thinking takeout would do. This set could buy a house. By zoo, I'll buy my own. These are too expensive. I'm scared to use them. Also, tell me how much you spent before. I'll transfer it to you. He brushed it off. This isn't from me as a friend or a suitor. It's the company compensating a veteran employee. That made me feel worse. Then why not compensate with a house? He didn't hesitate. Want one? Give me the address. Help? What kind of CEO talk is this? I was kidding. I haven't made major contributions to the company. How could I deserve it? He suddenly put down what he was holding and came to me. Seriously, no merits, but what about effort? When I work late, you're always there. Don't you handle all the company's big and small matters? These days you were gone. You know how much I chewed them out. Why can't you get a house? You deserve it absolutely. He said a ton righteously, leaving me stunned. Suddenly feeling like I'm pretty awesome. I know you might say, you're so good at talking, why not do pyramid schemes? But let me ask, who's the biggest in the company? I want to give an excellent employee a house. Nothing to do with feelings. What's the problem? As I started to float, my brain recalled my mom's warning when I started working. Don't take advantage and you won't be fooled. But no one else got this. Not even Assistant Ziwu. How could I accept no, forget it? I can buy my own. I was looking at houses the other day. Fine, I'll get Ziwu one too. My rationality nearly collapsed. The word okay was swallowed back the moment it almost slipped out. I kept telling myself to stay calm. He's being nice because he likes me. Straight guys don't know how to date, so he's this direct. But if I want to be with him, I can't start from an unequal position. Work is one thing, but not in life. My tone firmed up. That's not what I meant. How about you help me pick a house by Zong? You've got a good eye. Help me see which one holds value better. I'd feel more secure in a house I earned myself. He seemed to understand my insistence. No longer pushing. Sitting beside me, he asked, "What's your budget?" Why'd he suddenly get so professional? We discussed my house purchase until midnight. Having someone to consult with cleared things up instantly. I decided to check out that neighborhood tomorrow. Once I had the deed, every cup in my house gained value. Paid in full. Who gets the weight of those words? I mean, working like an ox or horse for years. Wasn't it all for this moment? A house of my own. That's a girl's sense of security. Even if I'm married and we fight, I'd have a place to go. I'm someone with a home in this city now. When my parents visit, they can stay with me. The feeling was too wonderful. I was thrilled to the point of madness. I couldn't suppress the expression on my face. Grinning foolishly at Bai Ningbing. I agree, let's be together. That Bai Ningbing came out bold and firm. His smile froze, as if he hadn't processed my decision. I gripped his hand. I like you too. When you shielded me from pushy clients, when you always took me first class on business trips, when you knew my family was struggling and advanced my salary, when you knew I didn't understand, but patiently taught me instead of firing me, when you turned me from a nobody into a workplace elite, when you dropped work to care for me when I was sick. To me, you're not just a boss, but my teacher, my friend. Sure, I call you the king of hell behind your back, partly to fit in. And yeah, there's some complaining, but deep down I really admire you. Who wouldn't like a strong, emotionally stable woman? I'm old enough now. I want to be brave for myself. To put it bluntly, take a chance that maybe a bicycle can become a motorcycle. I don't want to hide it either. Everyone understood, and his cold face finally broke into a smile. Andy's worthless grin description. So that's what it looked like. I love your directness. I'm not an idiot. I get the bicyclet a motorcycle thing, but I just want to give you everything. After being with Bai Ningbing, the happiest was Andy Zhu. Son-in-law rolled off her tongue even smoother. She started asking me to go shopping now and then, buying entire stores worth of stuff. I'd look at the prices and nervously pull my hand back. Didn't Bai Ningbing give you his black card? Use it, don't feel bad about spending. Feeling bad for a man gets you nowhere. She said that. But I never used Bai Ningbing's card. Instead, I felt a sense of vigilance. I worked even harder. In life, I couldn't quite separate girlfriend from subordinate. He clearly wanted to care for me as a girlfriend, but I kept fetching water or things for him. Work sometimes made me dizzy with exhaustion. No time to eat. One day he forcefully pulled me into his office, pinned me to the desk, and lightly bit my lips, like he was punishing me. But this punishment wasn't painful, it was kind of nice. Baby, stop taking on extra work. Do as much as you're paid for. You're making me afraid to give you a raise. I'm scared you'll work yourself into the hospital. My eyes lit up. Then give me a raise. I won't overdo it. I'll work normally from now on. A raise makes me feel secure. He chuckled softly, murmuring, all right. Double's different. Double and ill work like crazy. Even till I spit blood. The company team building trip was to Yunnan. I finally achieved my milestone of trying mushrooms in Yunnan. Bai Ningbing felt awkward being too close with colleagues around, so he found an excuse for us to go off alone. While strolling, we picked a random hot pot place. The server poured plates of mushrooms into the pot. No chopsticks were set before us. They said it was to avoid poisoning. They even kept samples for testing. I pointed at the sample. See, professionals for sure. No way we'll get poisoned this time, Bai Ningbing said flatly. I'm still skeptical. Everything was normal as we ate. Mushrooms made by professionals were indeed tastier than my half-baked attempts, but not quite heaven in one bite. We ate for a while, feeling nothing wrong, until Bai Ningbing, still calm, said, "Baby, that toad you saw the other day, was it colorful?"